One of the most important concepts in Cypher, aside from how task rolls work, is using effort for various effects, and using edge to reduce the cost of your tasks. They do very different things, but for some reason the community keeps lumping them together, likely because a lot of new players tend to get edge and effort confused, since they're both E words and are usually found close to each other in the rules. However, they're both relatively straightforward, so I figured what the hey, let's tackle them both at once, starting with edge. Each of your 3 pools of might, speed, and intellect have their own edge score. Quite simply, whenever an ability or task would have a cost associated with that pool, you reduce the cost with your edge. Uses of effort. Effort is also more straightforward than you'd think. Firstly, your character has an effort score that acts as a limiter on how many levels of effort you can apply to a single task. Your effort score is something you can improve as your character advances. When you attempt a task of any kind, you can apply effort on that task for 3 different effects. Firstly, the most common use is to apply effort to ease the task, with each level of effort applied this way easing the level of the task by 1 step, which means it lowers the difficulty by 1. The second use is effort for extra damage. If the task is an attack or ability of some kind that applies damage, you can increase this damage for each level of effort you apply. This usually amounts to an additional +3 damage for each level of effort used this way for a single attack, or an extra 2 damage for each level of effort if you're affecting an area or multiple targets. This can change depending on the ability or weapon you're using, so make sure you read the descriptions in case there's any specific caveats. Finally, effort can be applied for other specific uses as detailed in the descriptions of abilities, ciphers, or artifacts. This can be vastly different, from greater duration times, more targets, greater effects, and more. It will be found in the description. If you can apply multiple levels of effort, you can mix and match which ones you use. For example, if you have an effort score of 3, you may decide to apply 2 levels of effort to ease the attack and 1 level of effort for damage. A side note here, according to the retry rules, when retrying a previously failed task, you must apply a level of effort to just attempt the task again. Effort cost. So, what's to stop us from applying effort on every task, making everything easy, and becoming a god in our own tiny make-believe worlds, angering the GM and alienating them from us, all while we cackle with evil laughter. I am all-powerful with my infinite effort! Okay, that's because it has a cost. Whenever you apply effort, it adds on the cost of the task that you have applied it to. The first level of effort costs 3 points, with each additional level of effort after that costing 2 points. So, for example, I want to use the Castigate ability, which has a base cost of 4 intellect. And since it's the type of thing that can be resisted, will involve a task roll. I know that the Ultra Mecha Dragon God that I'm trying to castigate is pretty beefy, so I decide to apply 2 levels of effort to ease the task. That means it's 4 points for the base cost of the ability, 3 points for the first level of effort, and 2 points for an additional level of effort after that, for a total cost of 9 for my intellect pool. If I have any intellect edge, I can of course lower the cost by that amount. Another cool note, if you roll a natural 20 on your task roll, you gain back any points spent on effort for that task. So if you just spent 7 points for 3 levels of effort to punch a clown in the face and roll a natural 20 on top of any other effects, you gain those 7 points back. That is the basics of effort and edge. If you like what I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Links for everything are also down below, including my Ko-fi link if you want to toss a couple of bucks for this Canuck for some brewskis. Have a good one, eh?